Black history begins with the rich cultures and civilizations of Africa, such as the Kingdom of Kush, the Mali Empire, and the Great Zimbabwe. These societies were centers of trade, education, and innovation long before the transatlantic slave trade disrupted the continent. The resilience of African people during this dark period laid the foundation for the fight for freedom and equality. The transatlantic slave trade, which lasted from the 16th to the 19th century, forcibly displaced millions of Africans to the Americas. Despite the brutality of slavery, enslaved people resisted through acts of rebellion, cultural preservation, and the creation of new communities. Key milestone: the Haitian Revolution, 1791 to 1804, led by figures like Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Haiti became the first Black republic in the world after overthrowing French colonial rule. This revolution inspired enslaved people worldwide to fight for their freedom. The 19th century saw the gradual abolition of slavery across the Americas, driven by the efforts of abolitionists and the resistance of enslaved people. The Emancipation Proclamation, 1863, issued by President Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War. This proclamation declared the freedom of enslaved people in Confederate states. It paved the way for the 13th Amendment, 1865, which abolished slavery in the United States. After the Civil War, the Reconstruction era aimed to rebuild the South and integrate formerly enslaved people into society. However, the rise of Jim Crow laws enforced racial segregation and disenfranchised Black Americans. The founding of the NAACP, 1909, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, was established to fight for civil rights and challenge racial injustice through legal and political means. The Harlem Renaissance was a cultural explosion that celebrated Black art, music, literature, and intellectualism. It was a period of pride and creativity that redefined Black identity. The Civil Rights Movement was a pivotal era in the fight for racial equality in the United States. Led by courageous activists, it challenged segregation and systemic racism. Brown versus Board of Education, 1954, Supreme Court ruling that declared racial segregation in schools unconstitutional. Montgomery bus boycott, 1955 to 1956, sparked by Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat. This boycott led to the desegregation of public buses. March on Washington, 1963, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech. Civil Rights Act, 1964, and Voting Rights Act, 1965, landmark legislation that outlawed discrimination and protected voting rights. Black history is not confined to the United States. Across Africa and the Caribbean, Black leaders fought for independence from colonial rule. Ghana's independence, 1957, led by Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana became the first African country to gain independence from colonial rule. Nelson Mandela and the end of apartheid, 1994, after decades of struggle, South Africa dismantled its apartheid system, and Mandela became its first Black president. Black history continues to evolve, with milestones in politics, culture, and social justice. Barack Obama's presidency, 2009 to 2017, the first Black president of the United States, symbolizing progress and hope. Black Lives Matter movement, 2013-present, a global movement advocating for racial justice and an end to police brutality. Kamala Harris as vice president, 2021, the first Black and South Asian woman to hold the office of vice president in the U.S. Black history is a testament to the strength, creativity, and resilience of Black people worldwide. From the horrors of slavery to the triumphs of the civil rights movement and beyond, each milestone has shaped the fight for equality and justice. As we celebrate these achievements, We must also recognize the work that remains to be done in the ongoing struggle for racial equity. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.